guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on a brand new light that I just got sent over by the people at Duken. So shout out to the people at Duken for sending me this light, and the light that I'm talking about is the Duken T60. So this is an LED tube light, and unlike other LED lights, this has a trick up its sleeve, and its trick is that in its normal mode, it's, a normal sized tube light, which is, really cool and all, but this light has a feature that I haven't seen before, and that is the Extendo mode. So you can actually have two sizes of tube lights with the size of one, if that makes sense. So now you get to have two tube lights for the portability of one smaller tube light, which is really, really cool. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about this light and all of its features and stuff like that, and what my thoughts on this light overall are. Now, I've had this light for about 2 weeks now. I've done a couple of shoots with it, and I got some photo examples for you guys as well. So as always, I will have the chapters on the timeline as well as stamps in the description below. Let's go ahead and dive into this thing. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what comes with this light. So obviously that's not exciting, so I'm going to just kind of run through it and get it over with. The things that this light comes with are the light itself. They come with little tripods that you can screw onto the bottom, and they come with their chargers, and that's basically it. They don't come with too much fancy stuff. They're kind of like a package that you get, just a light and a little accessory, and that's about it, which is nice. I like lights that are pretty bare bones, because sometimes the accessories you get with lights aren't really that useful. But with this light itself, it doesn't come with too much bloat, and it's pretty straightforward out of the box. The carrying case for it is pretty small, so you can bring everything you want with you. And you can actually fit multiple lights in a single carrying case if you want. But yeah, that is what all comes included in the box. So let's go ahead and talk about the light itself and start off with its build quality. This light is made out of plastic. You can hear that it's plastic. When you're holding it, you can definitely tell that it's plastic, but again, most tube lights are, so that's not to be surprising. This keeps the weight of it down. It is a little hefty just because it's a little bit of a bigger light, even when it's extended, but it's not too heavy for how big it is, which is really nice. The plastic feels pretty sturdy. The handle of it feels pretty nice. You can see the handle has little grips for your fingers, so you can hold it on there. There's a switch to power the light on and off, and then there's also a little remote to control all the features of the lights, as well as a 1/4-inch thread at the bottom and a little hook at the top. And the hook is actually dual purpose, so you can use this to hang the actual light itself onto things, and it's also used to get it into the extendo mode. You literally just pull on it and it extends. And in the extendo mode, as you can see, it's almost like twice the size, which is cool. That's like the main feature of this light. But one thing you do have to keep in mind is, because it is plastic, when it's extended, you can definitely feel it's not too sturdy, and it's slightly loose, and you can definitely feel it. If you hear that, it's definitely not the sturdiest thing, but it's not like you're gonna be using this thing as a lightsaber, so that's not that much of a problem. And having the ability to extend it into a lot bigger of a light than it actually is, fresh out of the box, definitely makes up for it being slightly loose. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is it is plastic, and it is slightly flimsy when you're in the extendo mode, but once you're in this mode, the shorten mode, it's really sturdy. As you can hear, nothing shakes around in the shortened mode, but in the extended mode, it is a little loose, which isn't too concerning, but it is something to keep in mind. So that is the build quality of this light. It's really nicely well built, I think, but it does definitely feel a little bit on the cheaper end of things. Not as much of a premium quality as other lights I have that are tube lights. But let's go ahead and talk about the features of this light, because that's the main thing about this video, is what can this light actually do, and why should you care about this light? So the main feature of this light and its selling point is that it can extend into a full-size tube light while being able to be carried around and be as portable as a smaller tube light. And that's really, really big, because this thing allows you to actually bring a full-size tube light with you wherever you go, because before, if you wanted a tube light this big, you would need to go out and get a tube light this big, and you wouldn't be able to collapse it. And something like a full tube light is a lot harder to bring with you everywhere you go, because it won't fit in your backpack, and if it does, it's gonna be one of those weird, awkward situations where it's like strapped to the outside and not actually in the backpack itself. Or two, you're gonna have to bring a carrying case that's just as big and just as long as the tube light itself, which that's one extra thing that's just gonna make it harder for you to carry around. But with this light, because it does break down into this smaller tube light, you can put this in a backpack. Although it'll have to be a bigger backpack, you know, its actual size that it takes up is a lot smaller than a full tube light, and you still get the full tube light functionality. Now, because it is a tube light, it has all of the features that normal tube lights have, with one added feature, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So all the features that it has are, again, it has full RGB, so you can change it to whatever color you want. It has full HSL slider functionality, so you can really dial in the color that you want. You can change the brightness. This doesn't get crazy bright, but again, most tube lights don't, so I'm not gonna knock it for that. So this light doesn't get crazy bright, but it does, you know, get pretty bright. And when it is extended, more LEDs are powered on, so it is brighter in its extended mode than it is in its short mode. So that's something to keep in mind if you do plan on using this light. Other light features that it includes obviously are the white light. So it does go from like 2500 Kelvin up to 8000, which is nice. And from the photos that I did use it on, it's really good light quality. I don't know the exact CRI of it, but it is pretty clean. And when I was editing, I had no problem editing it whatsoever, and it looked really good. Other light features that it has are video light features. This is a video light first, so it has like the dynamic lighting, like ambulance, police, fire pit, you know, stuff like that built into it. So you can just cycle through those if you want, and you can use it for video as well as photo. And yeah, that's about all the light features. Like I said, it's a tube light at the end of the day, so it doesn't have anything crazy that other tube lights don't have, but it does have the really cool extending feature. Now, one thing that this tube light has that's super convenient is its remote that you can literally pull off of the light itself, because this allows you to instantly have a remote control for the light anywhere you go. And because you can control it with a remote, it makes it so much more easy to use, because you don't have to dink around in its settings and then set the light somewhere, and then if you need to change it, go up and, you know, do it on the actual light itself. You can use it with the remote on the light and then just pull the remote off and take the remote with you and be able to control the light still with the remote. You can also use a Bluetooth app on this if you need, but I've had such a good experience using the remote that I don't even consider using my Bluetooth app for it, because it's so much easier to just use it with the remote, because it's on there and it's ready to go whenever you need it, which is super convenient. And another really cool feature of this light is if you have multiple of these lights, you can control all of them with just a single remote. So for example, I have two of these lights. If I wanted to control both of them, I just set them to the same channel, take one of the remotes off of the lights, and I can control both the lights with a single remote. To change the channels, you literally just go on the remote, change it to the channel that you want, and once you remove it, it'll stay to that channel. And you can do this with multiple lights and then control all of them with a single remote, which is super convenient. Or you can control multiple of them if you want with separate remotes. So if you end up losing a single remote for them, you'll still be able to control your lights, which is really convenient. But yeah, that about does it for the features of this light. Like I said, it's a tube light. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing that you haven't seen before other than the extendo mode. Now let's talk about how these actually perform when using them for photos. So like I said, I've taken these along to a couple of photo shoots I've had, and I've been really pleased with the photos that I've gotten with them. So I've used them on a couple of photo shoots, and I'll show you guys right now. The light quality from this light is really, really good. I don't know, like I said, I don't know the exact CRI, but as you can tell from the photos that I'm showing on screen right now, they're really good photos and they're really clean looking. You know, they don't have a weird tint to them. They're really good photos. Where I would see these lights being used the most is if you want to use these like on the go, because you can now have a full tube light with you wherever you go without having to carry around a full tube light, which is super convenient. Now, I personally like to have tube lights wherever I go. I have like this really small ones, but now I'm gonna probably replace those with these, because these are small enough that I can put them in my bag and not have them take up too much space, and then I'll have a full tube lights at my disposal whenever I need. So like I said, at the end of the day, this is just a tube light, but because it extends into a full size tube light, it just adds so much more functionality for me. And I do plan on using this going forward. But yeah, that is my review of the Duken T60. If you guys have any questions about this light, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll make sure to answer them. If you guys are planning on getting this light, I definitely recommend these. These are really cool, and I really like the extendo mode feature on these. But with that being said, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on any of the future content. And if you guys don't already follow me on social media, make sure you follow me at MoodyDarkRoom. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you can think of, I'm on there. Make sure you go ahead and follow me. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.